Hello everybody, my name is Harry Wolf. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a very fun and exciting episode, one that I have been collecting the bits and pieces of this episode for the past couple of weeks and months, also developing these skills over the past couple of years. A very arcane and dark science, which is the professional VS Code tricks. Some pro tricks for being the most efficient user with VS Code. I'm going to share with you some of my top tricks that I use every day, whether I'm coding or simply using VS Code as just a text editor. These are my go-to tricks that make me the most efficient user of VS Code. Without further ado, let's delve into what they are. The first thing that I want to talk about with you is navigation shortcuts. This is navigating VS Code itself. The two that I use a lot is opening up the sidebar over here and the bottom bar over here. So these two shortcuts I use a lot just to have, it helps me jump in and out of focusing on the content at hand. So with Command B, that opens the sidebar, opens and closes it. Very quick, very nice and easy. Command B, back and forth. I use that all the time. And then Command J to open the bottom drawer. Command J, open and close the bottom drawer. So again, if I want to jump in and out of things, makes my life a lot easy. Also, what I use a lot is Control tilde. Control tilde will actually open up the bottom drawer and open up the terminal. So if you're in the output section, and there's shortcuts for these too, but frankly, I don't use them that much, I don't care. But if I do use the terminal, so I can actually do Control tilde, Control backtick, and it jumps me right into the terminal, so I can actually do things right here. And again, I can do Command B to close that. Oh, Command J to close that. The two other ones that I use is Command Shift E, which opens up the Explorer, hence the E, which opens up the sidebar here. And then Command Shift F to open up searching for all, so I can do a global search if I want to. And then one that I don't use as much is Control Shift G to go to the version control. That one's a little bit awkward to use my hands with, so I usually just use the mouse, but I could if I wanted to. But again, Command Shift E to go to the Explorer, Command Shift F to go to Find. I use those all the time. Then of course, Command B to close it. The best way to get used to these things is just to like take one and just practice it and see if you like it in your workflow. The other thing that I use a lot is this extension that I have called Project Manager, and you can actually invoke Project Manager with a Command Option P, and this opens up a list of the projects that I am actively or semi-actively working on. So for example, like my YouTube stuff, I can click on YouTube. Cancel. Let's actually do this. We're gonna do. I'm actually gonna copy that, and I'll say sure. Let's go to YouTube. Don't save it for now. It's gonna swap, and there I'm in my YouTube project. So nice and easy to hop in between things in there. And of course, if I want to go back to the website, right there, and there it is. Okay, let's bring that back. Wonderful. That's Project Manager. Another big thing that I do a lot, actually let me just swap this out into the bottom over here, and you'll see why in a second. So the next thing I want to talk about is my selection hacks. My selection hacks are some of my most prized pro VS Code tricks that I use every day, even for code or not for code. I use these hacks, these tricks, these pro moves, selection pro moves. Let's do that instead. Selection pro moves. I'm going to make this into a blog post, which is why I have this outline here. Selection pro moves makes me very efficient to update a huge body of text. So the first one that I use a lot is this Command D to select multiple words. So for example, let's say I want to change the arguments that I have in these three create node fields. You know, you'd have to do like foo, right, to do all this stuff. Otherwise, this is very slow and inefficient, and I hate being inefficient because all we have is time. So the better I can save time, the happier it makes all of us. So actually what I can do is I can click on one thing, like a common text node, and you can see that these things are highlighted, but they're not actually active. Like if I move my keyboard, my cursor, they just go in and out. So I'm going to select that again. Let me select that. If I hit Command D, what that does is it expands the selection of that same piece of text. So I hit that again, it's going to expand that down there again. You can see I have 3 blinking cursors right here. And what's awesome about that is that I can now move my cursor and they are in the same place everywhere. So what I can do is easily add a new argument in every place. So I just tripled my output by this one simple trick, Command D. It is the best thing. You have to play with it to understand kind of how you can use it, when you can use it. Also, what you can do from there is some natural keyboard jumping shortcuts that's just built into Mac itself. I think it's also in Windows with a little, I think it might be like, Windows key or something like that, but what's on do? So let's say I want to actually have all of these be the same. And I wanted to have all these functions be the same function because I've now abstracted them. I want them all to be like, create thing. So I want to have all these be create thing, all these other things. And I can't do that. So if I just select the create word and I expand it, I'm getting some false positives here, things I don't actually want to be selected. So what I can do instead is find the common element that is common to all these things, like create page, expand the selection there. Then actually I can go up in my cursor, and then here I can start editing this. And this jumping the entire word is by holding Option, going left and right on the keyboard. This is what I use a lot too. Option, I don't really know the heuristic of it, but it just jumps full words. So I can actually hold Option and Shift and hit right, and that will select all those lines of text. So again, to go over what I did, I'm taking create page, Command D, and then I can go up, and then the question is how do you select this? You can go Option to the left, then hold Option and Shift select something, hold to the right, and now I have all these things there that I can then say create thing. Hopefully that wasn't too fast. I've practiced this over many years. Makes me much more efficient writing code. Another thing, I have this. This is a extension that brought over functionality that I had in a Sublime text to VS Code called Multiline Tricks plugin. Where's extensions? Multiline. So this extension right here, and this is another wonderful multi-line extension that saves me a lot of time. I mean, even here, let's say I wanted to, have these be a common prefix of thing, right? I don't really know what I could select over. Like I could easily select these to like go over here like this. What I can also do instead with this little plugin is I can actually hold Shift, go down, select all those lines, then hold, I think it's Control Shift L. Oops, nope, it's Option Shift L, which from those lines adds a cursor here. So for all those lines, I can hold Command to go to the front of the line, go over, and say to do. What's another example of this? I can, let's say I want to change all the arguments here to be different. I can again hold Shift, go up, up, select all that, Option, Shift, L, and now I have a cursor on every line that I can then do whatever I want with it. I think you can also, if you want to do like arbitrary multi-cursor arrangements, you can actually hold Command and click. Oh, no, is it Option? Where is it? I don't use this one as much. Yeah, Option. So you can actually Option click to put your cursor wherever you want. Then you have the option to say whatever you want. Multi-cursors is a very professional pro move that I would encourage you to take the time to understand how to use it to the best of your ability, because it will just save you so much time over the long run. It's a worthwhile investment by far. Okay, got these things. Cool. So let's talk about the built-in version control system editor. In this case, Git. Some of the things that you can do, which you might be aware about, is let's say I have this node. Oops, let's do this. I can select node with a comma, so I can get those comma selections. And I can say banana is fun. And of course, you can go here. Let's save that file. Shows up in here. I love this. This is a great way to actually review what you change while you're working on it. And sure, you have all these things here where you could actually add the entire file, like stage that entire file. But let's say you actually only want to stage one part. Like you're working on this file, you only want to save one aspect of it. You can go into this file here, click this green line, and it'll show you the change, and you can actually stage this line individually, like that. So now if I look over here, I can see that this is only a diff of that one line, and I have unstaged diffs of those other lines. So you can actually very easily sculpt the commit you want to add to Git. You can do this in the command line. I find it to be much less pleasant. This is wonderful. Included with this also, let's say you have this one line here, you could also revert it. So just one reverted there. And the visual control system in VS Code is wonderful. highly recommend using all of it. Easy prototyping is one that, oh, of course, the command palette. This one is, I had to learn IntelliJ at work, and I was like, where's the command palette? Because this is what I live and breathe on how to learn new editors. Thankfully, IntelliJ did have it. I think it was like Command-Shift-A to invoke it. For VS Code, it's Command-Shift-P to open the command palette. If you are not aware of the command palette, I am about to blow your mind. Literally, everything that you can do with a shortcut in VS Code, or even without a shortcut, is accessible in this command palette. So let's say I want to get the relative path of a file. So let's go into here. I'll do Command-Shift-P, and I'll type in relative. And here I have this command, copy relative path of active file. And you can see there's this shortcut on the right. So if I wanted to actually have this be a thing I use often, I can actually memorize the Shift Option Command C. Shift Option Command C. That seems like the most unergonomic thing to remember. So I just remembered that this is a command that exists. So I can hit Enter, and now I can go here, paste that, and that's the relative path of that file here. If I want to, I can do the absolute path, full path, copy path. There's copy path. So this is also great to actually discover what the heck VS Code can do. Do that here, paste that, and there's the full path of that file. What's also really cool about this is that literally you can just explore all the things that you can do in here. And it does the same good fuzzy searching of commands to actually like explore what's in there. What's interesting too is that if you actually delete this forward brace, it goes into the file lookup menu. So I can actually look up files. So if you do Command P to do a quick file lookup, you can actually add the right bracket or right caret. What the heck is that symbol? I don't even know what that symbol is. To then go into the command palette. And of course, you can also do colon to go to a current line. So I can go to line 100 right there. Go to, oops. So if you want to, if you have a huge file, you can easily navigate that. So you can do line 100. And let's do line 97. 97, column 2 or column 10. And there's my cursor right there. So if you want to navigate that way. Again, Command-Shift-P, just, you know, type in a random word file to kind of get an idea of what's in here. Like beautify file is great. You can do format file. It is lovely. Definitely spend a lot of time playing with it. It's definitely worth your while. This is one that I use a lot too. I mean, you can see me using it right here. Easy prototyping. If you want to just like spin up a editor and kind of like test around, you can do Command N to open a new file. Unless we want to make a React component and we just want to like, you know, prototype something. This is kind of hard because like I don't have any autocomplete at all, and it's hard to, there's no syntax parsing, so it's kind of hard to understand what's happening. So what you can actually do is open up the command palette, type in language to change the language mode, and then choose which language that this file should be in. So in this case, I want it to be JavaScript React, and here we have the wonderful syntax highlighting that we all love and rely on. You can also change this in here if you want to. Click on that button to see the entire list of languages that you have available in your VS Code language. It's also great for, see it here, you can do Command-Shift-P language mode, Markdown. So now I can have this be formatted in Markdown, anything that's in there. No syntax highlighting for me, but I use this a lot as well, especially when I have some PR and I want to just like type something quickly. I use this all the time. It's absolutely lovely. And last but not least, my little pro VS Code shortcut is the GitHub PR extension. Where am I going to have a repo that has a PR open? I'm going to go into here for now. We cancel, let me save this. I'm going to go to Leafy Green. Leafy Green is a open source UI kit that I'm developing at work. I'm using it for example purposes here because it's open source. You can see it, it's online. What's cool about this is that I can actually show you how this GitHub PR thing works, where you can actually load this extension, expand this to see all open PRs. And then you can actually click onto a PR. So for example, there's this new PR to add this new component to the UI kit. And I can load it up. I can see, you know, who's reviewing it, the text, everything like that. And what's most cool about this is that you can actually click checkout, and VS Code will actually check out that PR branch locally and then go into this checkout mode, this review mode, where you can actually then see the local files here. So you can see all the files here. You can open it up. And if you open it up, you can actually start doing comments in VS Code. La la la. If I hit add comment, that's going to show up in GitHub itself. And what's also great about this is if you actually want to play with the code locally, then you can just literally just open up the terminal and start, doing yarn start to actually spin up everything and actually play with those changes locally. And then of course, when you're done, you can go back and say exit review mode, and you're right back to master where you were before. Literally, it took me a long time to understand why it's so great, and since I rely on it so much. It is so good. So to recap, my Pro VS Code tricks, I got some navigation shortcuts, which help me day and day just to make sure that I can focus on what the task at hand. Project Manager to manage multiple projects at once, make it easy to jump in between them. That's an extension also, by the way, that's an extension. Selection Pro moves, definitely practice those, learn those. It will save you so much time over the long run. Even taking a week just to kind of learn multi-selection tricks saves you so much time. Oh, I actually forgot a trick, one that's really cool. In VS Code, you can actually put a cursor on a line and do Command X to a cut, and it will cut that entire line. And you can, of course, Command V to paste it. And why I find that very helpful is if I want to delete a lot of lines in succession, I can do Command X, 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 and that's all gone. Like, I'm not going to use that cut text, it's just gone, but it makes it very easy to delete an entire line. So I use that a lot. Where should I put that under? What line would that be? Selection Pro moves? Sure, let's do quickly deleting a full line. Quickly deleting a full line with Command plus X. It also makes it easier to then refactor, move things around if you want to, because you can kind of just yank and pull things everywhere. Also, what's a good trick is shifting lines up. Man, I forgot about these tricks. Almost forgot about them. If you hold Option on a line, you can actually hold Option and then go up or down to actually move where that is. And this works like anywhere. So I could actually have this, swap that order right there with holding Option on that line, hitting up or down. And that just swaps the order entirely. So you can just go up like that. You can also do that with a multi-selection. So I can actually select this. I can actually select all of this and then just move it all the way down like that. Whee! Like that. A lot of fun. Holding Option. And I can hold Shift to go all the way up. Hold Command to go over there. All the way down. Just like that. Okay, that's it. Shift line up and down with Option up and down. Use the built-in VS version control system editor. It's lovely. The command palette, live it, breathe it. Easy prototyping to just open a file with an extension and use that GitHub PR extension, another extension that is awesome. Thank you for listening to this. I've been very excited about this video for a long time, so definitely do share it with your whole network, making sure that we make everybody as much of a pro VS Code user as they can be. I'm curious to hear about the tips and tricks that you use daily. I'd love to hear what are the things that give you the biggest productivity boost as well. Leave a comment in the comment section. That's what it's there for. If you're not already a subscriber, become a subscriber to get more content like this. I have a Patreon account if you'd like to become a Patreon patron, PP for short. And I'll see you again in the next video.